What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a good Monday. Hope you enjoyed the weekend in Munich. Everything's open, or in Bavaria, everything's opening up again. Life is starting to pick up. So, perfect time to stream, I guess. Today with pension system. Very common question we receive among expats is that you're coming here for a couple of years, you're trying to work, but you're not sure what happens afterwards. Some have a fixed term contract, some work here for a couple of years, some want to go back to their family, and it's always an important question for them. What if I leave Germany again? What happens to my pension? And not just that, even if you want to stay here, so it seems like that the pension system in Germany is a very big topic of interest for you guys because it's been among the most watched videos on this entire channel. Rightfully so, because it's certainly one way to escape the 0% interest rate trap. One way. There's multiple other ways, but today we're going to focus on pensions. We'll see how it goes. Maybe 30 minutes, maybe 45, whatever. I'll have an eye on chat, so you let me know what you want to talk about. This is a very flexible schedule. I prepared just a couple of slides to get us going, but you let me know. As with the videos and all the comments, you let me know what you want to talk about, right? This is about you. Before we start, as always, this is just entertainment today and education. Please do not make any financial decisions based on what I say or present today. And please don't sue us. To inspire you to get some questions going today, here's what I read all the time, or we also did seminars like these offline in Munich in pre-pandemic times. Very surprising question was always if everybody or if expats have a pension already, maybe without even knowing it. We can answer this for sure. If you are working here, yes. As an employee, yes. Then you already have a pension. The mandatory government pension. I'll tell you later what that is. The real question for this one is, what are you paying into? How much are you paying into? And of course, how much are you getting out of it? I can tell you for sure what you're paying into. What you're getting out of, we'll see what happens, but maybe we can come close. So I can give you like the structural answer behind it. And spoiler alert, because public pension is maybe not so worth it, question is, are other pensions worth it? And well, certainly yes. Certainly yes. Because you gotta find a solution. If you don't plan to work forever, you gotta find a solution where money is coming after you stop working. And pensions are certainly one possible solution. There's others, investments, rental properties, but pensions are certainly one of the ways. And then, of course, which pension is the absolute best, right? This is what everybody's always asking. What's the best ETF? What's the best rental property? What's the best pension? What's the best insurance? This is what everybody wants to know. But as the answer is ever so often, it depends. It depends, and this depends too. What if you want to leave Germany? Depends. Some of them you can take it with you. Some of them will always stay here in Germany. All right. Most people tell me nobody ever explained them their payslip. That's why we got a video on the channel that explains everything. And this one also explains how much you are paying into German public pension. So if you want to see it, grab your payslip right now, and then you can see here. RV is always the abbreviation for public pension. So this guy is paying in 456 euros every single month as part of Social Security into public pension. That's 18.6% of his salary. 456 from him times 2, because employer pays also 456, right? Social Security is always 50-50 with the employer. That's almost maximum. Maximum would be 660 euros every month times 2, so 1,300 euros every single month that you pay into public pension. Now that's a lot. That's a lot of money. What are you getting out of it? Not that much, I can already tell you. But first one, restrictions. When can you get the money out? Regularly with 67. So if you don't do anything, just wait. This would be the day that you retire when you reach 67. You can also go with 62. That's the absolute earliest the German government allows it. Now, if you do this, every month you go into retirement earlier than 67, there's a 0.3% deduction every month from your possible pension. So every month you retire earlier than the regular age, minus 0.3%. Every month that you retire after 67, because you also have the right to work longer if you want to, you get 0.5% on top every month. So that can be worth it. Retiring early will cost you a little money. But at least now you know it. And maybe you can afford it. Once you work here 5 years or are 30 years of age, I think these are the two rules, you will get this public pension letter here. This is my one from my last one from October 19. And this one explains as close as it gets what you will get out. It will tell you your projected monthly pension with the age 67 and also how they calculate it, because it's calculated based on points. So you can see here, or maybe not because it's pretty small, I have right around 6 points, 6 pension points. How do you get these points? The average salary, which was a little bit above 40k last year, gets you 1 pension point, because you have to pay 18.6% of your salary into public pension. And 40k, which is the average salary before retirement, will give you 14,000 in retirement. That's why they're saying get additional ones. It's probably not going to be enough. And they're absolutely right about this. But we'll see. We'll see some statistics afterwards. What you can basically do is, and that's why I said you have to pay taxes and public health insurance on this one. Private works a little different, but public health insurance is deducted from this. So also 15% for health insurance. You can compare the numbers that you see on this letter with your current gross salary. Right? So my kind of gross salary would have been 1,400 here with this pension letter. And that's actually right average. That's right average what Germans are getting. In case you want more info and all the details and the second side of this letter and everything, here's a video on it on our channel that explains all this into detail. If you want more details in general, I'll show you later. There's videos on absolutely everything. This is just a run through across the German pension system. There's more details available. So this is what people got out in 2019 after paying in at least 35 years. And if you actually think about this, for somebody that's studying, that's actually pretty good. That's pretty good. So that's quite a long time. And here you can see the different states and everything, but the number that is as far as I'm concerned, really important. 1,413 euros was the average gross pension paid in 2019. Of course, pre-tax, pre-public health insurance. So kind of like your gross salary. This would have been the average gross salary kind of in pension age. Men getting this 1,570 and women getting 1,173. I guess we can all agree that they're pretty right about what they write in their letter, that this is probably not going to be enough. Because imagine living on 1,413 euros right now. That would be probably pretty tough, at least for the people like me who are living in the big cities, where some people pay 1,400 on rent alone. And this is gross. So 1,400 would be 1,100 net or something. Now, question is, because I don't want to scare you, right? This might look a little scary, but I don't want to scare you. I just want to educate you. So the question is, what can you do about it? Interest rates at zero, so saving is maybe not that worth it. But what about ETFs? Or what about mutual funds? What about rental properties? What about pensions? And if pensions, which one? And that's what we're gonna take a look at now. Is there any calculator tool to predict how much money we gonna receive as pension at our retirement? There may be something on the public pension website, but this maybe that's a little complicated. Let's see how complicated it is. If not, there's something easy. Rentenschätze. I knew it. So this is the tool, the official one from German Public Pension. And since this might be a little complicated, take these 34 euros here. Take these 34 euros. And if you make 40,551, that was the average gross salary in 2020. So for this, you got 34 euros in monthly pension. And now you can just see, if your gross salary was 20k, then you get half this monthly pension. And if you make twice that much, you get twice that much in monthly pension. And then you can just see what would be your salary. So if you think you make average salary over the next whatever years until you retire, then you just sum up these 34 euros every month times the numbers of years that you will be working. And then you come to your pension maybe a little easier than with this calculator. You'll see what works for you. All right, so which pension is the best? Which pension is right for you? Well, let's see what's available. Let's start with level 1. So our system is built in 3 different levels. Very, very easy actually. And level 1, we kind of talked about it a little, because in pension level 1, we have our public pension that everybody as an employee has to pay in. What are the benefits of it? Well, every March, April or something, you get this year-end statement. Maybe you also get it in with the December payslip or with the January payslip. Depends what your how fast your company is, and then they'll tell you exactly what you paid in to public pension in the last year. So in December 2020. You might get, or January 2021, you might get a statement saying you paid this much in 2020, so the year behind you. And everything you have there you can deduct it from your taxes. So you get up to 42% back, which is pretty nice. That also answers the question, should you do a tax declaration? Definitely yes. Always, always, always do a tax declaration. I know it's not mandatory, but it will be worth it. Trust me. Most likely worth it. 9 out of 10 people get money back. And another pro, since I'm talking to a lot of people who want to do a lot of stuff and who want to get rich, but then when it comes to actually saving, they seem to have some trouble for whatever reason. So I think it's pretty good. Like also buying a home, I'm generally not that big of a fan of buying a home from a financial perspective. So buying a home, buying a house and renting it out, a rental property is financially much better than buying a home. But at least the home is forcing you to save, right? Because the bank will kick you out of your own house if you don't save. And that's, I think, the big pro as well for the public pension. At least it's forcing people to save, right? At least then they'll do it. They might not get a lot out of it, okay, because the system in itself is pretty inefficient and it will probably run out of money. That's the latest projections from last week. So between 2040 and 2050, it will run out of money, but at least it's forcing people to save. Not that bad. Problem is that everything that you save is not really yours. So we're kind of having a generational contract here, which makes it difficult to answer Praveen's question, what you will receive, because it's all based on these points. You don't save anything for yourself, you just get these points. And nobody knows what a point value will be in next year, 10 years, 20, 30, 40 years from now. Nobody knows. It all depends on how much all people are saving and how much all people are getting out. If you think, well, this sounds a lot like a Ponzi scheme or like a pyramid scheme, then you are absolutely right. But apparently the government is allowed to do this. If you or me would do this, then it would be illegal. Rightfully so. But the government can do it, apparently. So, for whom is this a good idea? Well, employees, but let's take it with a smile, right? Because employees are forced to pay into it, so what are they going to do about it? They have no choice to exit. And maybe if you are working your whole life here, or most of your career, so when you pay in like 35 years or something, then maybe you'll get something out of it. Maybe, hopefully for everybody of us watching now, that we're getting some out of it. Also in level 1 is the base pension, which is basically the private version of the public pension. So it's not made with the government, it's made with private pension companies who are trying to do the best for their customers. So it's basically public pension on steroids. Works much better if you structure it right. Not saying that everyone does. There's also shitty ones. Benefits are the same. During pay-in, you can get up to 42% back, so whatever your personal tax rate is. The major difference is, and that's why I'm saying it's on steroids, that everything that you save into your base pension is really your savings. It's not shared with anybody. I have a base pension, for example. I'll tell you in a minute, or it's here, because I'm saving taxes. I hate paying taxes, as probably most people do. I feel I'm paying too much taxes, probably also as most people do here in Germany. So I like tax deductible investings and savings, and also investing it into ETFs. I like it. Now the cons, of course, if you get tax benefits during pay-in, then it's taxed during payout. So that's kind of the rule we have in all the pensions here. I know in the US there's something different, like this tax deferred whatever. But here in Germany, it's always if something is taxed during pay-in, then you get tax benefits in payout. And if you get tax benefits in pay-in, then it's tax in payout. So the government gets its taxes at some point. There's no way around it. And also, when you get tax benefits in pay-in phase, there's always some restrictions in payout phase. And here, the major restrictions is that there are no withdrawals possible. So it's not like you can save 20K into your base pension and then say when retirement age comes, you say, give me my 20K. That's not possible. When you are 67 regularly or earliest 62, it will be a monthly pension until you pass away. No withdrawals, only a monthly pension. So be aware of this before you get a base pension. Don't put all your money into it because you can't get it out before retirement age. So who is this good for? Self-employed people. Why? Because self-employed people have the freedom to exit public pension, which is probably, for most self-employed people, a really good idea. I did this, for example. As soon as I could get out, I exited public pension and got myself a base pension. And who can also get this? Everybody who's basically making more than 60K, or married couples making twice that much, so 120K per year. Of course, you can get it also when with a lower salary, but for them it's pretty worth it because they are the ones with a high tax rate. So investing in something that gives tax benefits is always more worth it if you have a high tax rate. Now, a very interesting level for many people seems to be pensions level 2, starting with the company pension. So the big benefit here is that you get employer matches of at least 15%. That's 15%. That's the absolute legal minimum, where I feel 95% of the companies pay like the legal minimum. Some pay 50%, so 50%, and I have like a handful of clients where the company pays 100% on top, but that seems to be very rare. It's a very, very generous employer. And on everything that you put in, there's no tax and no social security in pay-in. What does that mean in payout? You know it already. In payout, then it's taxed and you have to pay social security on it. Other cons or disadvantages are that your employer is the owner of the pension, so it's not you. In all private pensions, so in the base pensions and everything in level 3, you are always the owner. So you can basically do whatever you want with it. But in the company pension, your employer is the owner and you are only the insured person, meaning he can do whatever he wants. So he can limit the amount of investments. He can, and that's what I see actually most of the time, is that employers just don't really understand this or get bad consultation. So most of them are offered without any investments. And then, of course, if you get a 15% match, that's pretty cool. But if your money's not invested at all and basically is laying on a 1% bank account or whatever, that's pretty bad. What's also pretty bad is, but this is getting better and better over the years, when you switch companies from here to there and to there and to here. I have like people with like 5 different contracts because it always depends on the new employer if he'll take your old contract. Of course, your current company will always say, or your current pension provider will always say, yes, you can move it to a new one, but imagine BMW, for example, or Volkswagen as one of the largest employers in Germany. They employ probably hundreds or thousands of new employees every year. If everybody would come with a different company pension, this would be a huge mess. So Volkswagen is saying, either you take our system or you leave it. Rightfully so. And this is how you can end up with lots of different contracts. How do you think people coming in your country to do any types of things like study, work, etc.? Not sure if I understand. Maybe you can rephrase that a little. And how do you think people coming in your country to do any types of I don't not sure if I get it. Who is this good for, the company pension? Well, of course, if you're the business, right? I'm currently working with a couple of people who set up their own business, and then it's absolutely perfect. I'm currently going through this myself as well. Going forward, because last week actually, I founded a real GmbH out of PerFinEx, which means I will stop saving for my own pension. From now on, the business will do it. From now on, only the business will save for my pension as me being the managing director. That's much better than me doing it privately. And of course, people who love their employer and who want to stay there for multiple years. So if you're planning to leave the employer within the next 5 years, don't do it. Not worth it. Because as Scott says, what's up, Scott? He has 4 contracts. Yeah, exactly. And worried by the time of age, you'll forget how to access all of them. Make sure that if you're not in Germany anymore, make sure that at least they know how to find you. But probably also with the public pension, at least the private pensions in all levels, they will reach out to you once the contract kind of matures. So they will reach out to you and say, hey, what's up? You're going to be 67, most of the time 1 year in advance. They will reach out to you and say, hey, you're going to be 67. What's up? You want some pension or what? But also for the public one, reach out to them too, put them on the list, because they're not going to reach out to you. They're pretty happy. They're pretty happy if you don't reach out. Hope my email still works. Well, in Germany everything's by post, right? Not sure if will be digitalized when you retire. The pandemic did pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how everything is getting digitalized. But we'll see how things are in a couple of years from now. Can one be employed, high salaried, but not opting for RV? Hate to break it to you, Ranjita, but as soon as you're employed, you have to pay into public pension. You can only exit public health insurance. That's possible. But everything else, unemployment insurance, and long-term care, but you can get this to private too, which is also a lot cheaper. But no, public pension, you always have to pay it. Otherwise, the system will run out of money even faster. One very popular pension seems to you guys the Riester, or Reister, as many of you say. Also, tax benefits in level 1 and level 2, right? You know, system repeats itself. But what is pretty cool here, that you get these government bonuses. So every year, there's actually a fixed amount of what you pay in, which is 175 euros per month. Deducting from this, or if you do this, if you put in 175 euros every month, the government puts kind of like Christmas money, a 13th month on top, as a government bonus for you as an adult, as the contract owner. And every child gets you 300 euro as well, every single year. So I have families with like 3 kids, and they don't pay in a lot, but they get a lot of government bonuses. So basically they pay in half and the government pays in the other half, and whatever they pay in is even tax deductible. So it's a pretty cool option for everybody with a family. Can one be employed? Okay, next try from Ranjita. Can one be employed, high salaried, but instead of RV going for base pension? You can get any pension you want on top of RV, on top of public pension, not instead, only on top. But then you can get anything you want. It's not like you have to get level 1 in order to get level 2 or level 3. You can get level 3 immediately. Disadvantages from this Riester pension, that when you retire, you can get a 30% lump sum payment, which is much better than level 1 if you think about it, where there's absolutely no withdrawals possible. But we'll see in a minute, in pensions level 3, you can get 100% payout. Here, only 30%. And in theory, you can only retire in the EU. If you retire outside of the EU, and usually there's a lot of people from India watching, or a lot of people from India working here in Germany, thinking they might want to go back when they retire. In theory, when you go outside of the EU to retire, you have to give all these government bonuses that you got over the years, you have to give it back. We'll see if that changes, so things throughout the EU get a lot more harmonized over the last couple of years, and they will going forward. We'll see if this goes away, but these are the rules as of right now. So who should get this, or who might want to get this? Of course, family with kids, because every child gives you 300 euros for this, and people who want to get a home for themselves. Because you can use this Riester pension as a collateral for buying a home. So, as an example, when you make this contract, you can say why, you can cross like these boxes, why are you getting this contract? And you can say, I want to fund my retirement. And there's also a box most of the time that says, I want to buy a home going forward. And then when you do buy this home, you take out this Riester pension and say, look how financially responsible I am. I saved up years in advance knowing that I want to buy this home, and then banks love you because banks love pensions. Germans love pensions. Look at how many pensions we have, and we're not even done. Germany loves pensions for whatever reason, because it's secure, I guess. We like security. We don't like risk. Is this mean RV plus Riester equals pension? Well, RV is public pension. So RV is this. This is RV. Only the public pension. This is RV. Does this answer your question? Not sure. Last but not least, basically all kinds of private pensions, which is level 3. Here, you get tax benefits during payout. So please be aware, level 1 and 2, tax benefits during pay-in. Now, first time during payout. So no tax benefits during pay-in. You invest it straight from your net like you do with any depot account or securities account. And that's why we'll compare this here, because that's what you guys seem to do a lot. Benefit is apparent for the first time, 100% lump sum is possible. So when you get a private pension, about 1 year before you retire, you'll get a letter from them saying, what's up? Congrats, you made it. Next year you retire. What do you want to do? Here's option 1, where you get a monthly pension until you pass away. And here's option 2, where you get 100% lump sum payout. Which of these options do you like? And then you can see what you want to do. Do you maybe want to do something in between? You want to get 50% lump sum and the rest as a monthly, whatever. But at least you have the option, which is much better than level 1, where there's no withdrawal, or level 2, where there's only 30% withdrawal. But there you don't have the tax benefits, right? So you see where this is going, that there's no best pension. You guys ridicule me for this, but it depends. Meaning one is paying RV plus Riester additionally if opted. Exactly. As an employee, you always pay public pension, and if you decide to get a Riester for yourself, then you put in 175 maximum on top. You got it. The downside, as mentioned, no state subsidies, no government bonuses, no tax benefits, no nothing in pay-in phase. It's really straight from your net. It's tax neutral, basically. And in order to get the tax benefits during payout, you have to wait at least until you are 62. It kind of depends what you want to go for. If you want to go for the lump sum or if you want to go for the monthly. So that's kind of getting a little complicated. If you're interested in it, check this video. This explains everything in detail. But let's just say the longer you wait, the better the tax benefits. But they're starting with 62. Before that, so don't cancel it with 61. Will cost you a lot of unnecessary taxes. Good for whom? Everybody who's not sure where he wants to retire, here in Germany, somewhere in Europe, back in India, wherever, and everybody who wants to invest in real estate, either as a home or as an investment. Because again, you can take this to the bank and say, look how financially responsible I am, I already saved. And level 3 works not just for homes, but also for investments. This is part 1, how it helps you, and part 2 could be that you don't have to pay principal to a bank these days. You can also pay principal into your pension level 3 and only pay interest to the bank. That's what's called endowment mortgage, but that's a very complicated concept. Let's just say you don't pay any principal to the bank from your loan. You pay your principal into the pension and invest it. There's no video yet, but there will be one soon. Explaining it. Because if you know how to use it right, it's pretty cool. You can arbitrage the hell out of it. Why do a private pension when you can put money into an index fund yourself? Scott is kind of a paid actor today. Because he knows exactly what's coming. The depot account, let's compare it. So because you guys seem to do it a lot. I think this comparison is kind of like a little apple to orange comparison, but I see where you're coming from, right? It's like I invest 100 euros into the depot account, or like 100 euros into a pension, right? So I kind of see where this comparison is coming from. On the positive for the depot accounts is that it doesn't matter how much you earn or whatever, it's a 25% capital gains tax. So even if you earn 1 million from this, you don't pay more. Yes, I know it's like 26 point something, whatever, so with the solidarity tax, but 25% plus solidarity. 26.2, I think, whatever. So it's basically as flexible as it gets. On the big downside, and that's kind of the answer to your question, is in these 2 ways. So first, ETFs are taxed every year. Above a certain threshold, of course. You can make 801 euros completely tax-free. And but since 2018, not just when you're selling, since 2018, here within the EU, there's a new tax regulation that kind of taxes, kind of taxes. It's very complicated too, so let's not get into this tax thing here. Yes, it's unrealized capital gains tax, exactly. So if you have a German broker, for example, I have ETFs in a German broker, and I bought them, let's say, for 100 euros, and then they increased over the years to 110, just as an example. And then in December 31st, yeah, schade, exactly. In December 31st, I didn't buy them for 100, it increases to this 110, and this is where you are kind of taxed preemptively for the capital gains without selling it. It's really as complicated as it sounds, but that's the way it is. And for the pensions, everything that you put in is tax deferred until you get money out. So if you're 30 now, 35, whatever, and you have 30 years to go, this would be 30 years without paying any taxes on your ETFs. Yes, the pension itself costs you a little, but a lot, probably over the years, a lot less than the taxes that you're saving. And the tax benefits you're getting in payout with level 3. And of course, you can run out of money, right? If you didn't save enough, if you consume your savings, you can run out of it. A pension will never run out of money. A pension will pay until the day you pass away. And then there's a question from Ranjita. What happens if you retire at 67 and died with 68? Well, that's pretty bad, because then you didn't even make it to 69. Depends on the company and the contract that you have. Most of them pay like at least 10 years to whoever's left. So some people would inherit. Or if you get a private pension and the one-time payout, then the contract's done anyway. Then there's just a lot of money around. But some of them would pay for 10 years. You can also have it longer, of course. But let's just say if you think you'll die early, then pensions are a pretty bad idea. So in your example, retire with 67, die with 68, then rather save everything and spend the last days in Vegas, party. But then if you do live longer, and that's kind of what Scott is saying right now, if you do live longer, then you're fucked. If there's still life left and your savings are run out, then you have a problem at hand. So I feel if you're flexible, a depot account, I'm not against the depot account. Sometimes it feels like all these ETF guys, because it's like a religion almost, like Bitcoin, right? It kind of feels like a religion these days. Some of them might think I'm against it. I'm not against it. I'm just saying don't put everything into it. Don't put everything in a pension. Don't put everything in real estate. Don't put everything anywhere. That's what I'm saying. And the way how I structure this, but this is my truth, that doesn't mean it has to be your truth. You can see this differently for your life. But the way how I see it, and that's why I got myself a base pension, and that's why I will continue to have a base pension going forward, is I say there's really 3 expenses throughout my entire life that I always have to have. It's housing, it's health insurance, and it's food. The rest is kind of optional. It's not a prosperous life, but at least it's something. And I want to cover this with my base pension. So I don't have to even think about it. Even if I'm incredibly stupid throughout my entire life, I still have housing, health insurance, and food to survive. Everything else would make my life better, and this can be paid somewhere else, or saved up somewhere else. That's how I feel about it. Doesn't mean that's your truth though. Your truth can look different. Let's see what your truth is. If there's any questions open from pensions, feel free to type it in chat right now. And if you would like help in all these things here, insurance, investing, pensions, real estate or real estate financing, you can book a meeting on perfinex.de/meeting. There should also be a link, I think, in the description below, or you scan this QR code. We can help you for basically anything except taxes. We know good tax advisors who work with expats, but it's not us. We have a tax advisor ourselves. That should explain it. That should explain it. We don't do this because we don't want to help you with taxes. We simply can't. We are pretty good when it comes to the other stuff, but taxes is a field on its own. Retire with 67, live until 100, still get pension. Well, hopefully you'll have a good life, right? You worked a lot during your entire life. Let's be honest. You do working and sleeping. That's basically what you do your entire life, and then everything else is kind of the rest. But that's where we spend most of our time, right? Working and sleeping. So hopefully, I wish everybody watching a long and prosperous life. Hopefully, you'll be healthy until 100 and get your pension. Insurance company or pension company might not like it. They might like it if you die early, but whatever. If you choose a financially stable pension company, they can pay for it. So the big ones, for example, they can pay basically forever. So meaning no limit. Exactly. That's the contract. That's the pension contract. Also from government. Yes. Also from government. All these pensions in public pension, base pension, company pension, Riester pension, private pension, if you choose the monthly version, all of them pay until the last month you live. That's the deal they have. If you die early, good for the pension. If you live long, good for you. In both ways, I guess. Alrighty, that was a fun session, huh? Thank you everybody for watching and the active chat. Was a pleasure to talk to you again. I always love these live streams because it's much cooler than just reading the comments. If you need any help, let me know, and wish everybody of you a good week. Hopefully you'll get your vaccination soon if you want it. And life, wherever you are, in which state, picks up again as it is here in Bavaria, so you can enjoy the summer. Alright? Have a good week and stay healthy, everybody.